G'day guys, my name is Jesse Jorgensen and I'm here today with Miguel Krzywdzinski.
Oh, you got the last name right.
I got it right. I had to practice for when I did the MCing at your wedding / engagement party.
Yeah, of course.
Sneaky devil.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there are no other guests with us here today. Today I'll be interviewing the man himself.
Let's go.
I figure everyone sort of knows of Miguel, but maybe there's a lot of people that don't really know him. So yeah, let's get to know the man behind all of this, I guess, really. So tell us all about yourself.
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know where to start.
So Miguel Krzywdzinski.
Yes.
All right, and I got that right. That's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. So
why is it spelt so different?
It is. Obviously, if anyone has seen my last name, it's spelled KRZYWDZINSKI. So I'm half Filipino and half Polish. Obviously, the last name is Polish.
Yeah.
But the way that they pronounce it is really weird. You know,
Yeah. Because like, if you were to pronounce it the way it's spelled, it's like Krzywdzinski, like
Yeah. It's the keyboard slam. It's just like all jumbled up.
There is no like
Nah.
like sound at the start.
Not at all. So the way that I kind of, I guess, pronounce it is probably not the correct way of actually pronouncing it in Polish, but I have run it through like a Google Translator because when my dad said it, it sounded way like the way they speak is very like back of the throat kind of, the way that they pronounce it. And then I ran it through Google Translate because I'm like, man, obviously this is my last name. I'm going to be saying it for a long time. Surely I'm saying it right, but it's right. But I'm sure if there's Polish people out there, when they hear me say Krzywdzinski, it's probably not.
So is it Krzywdzinski?
Yeah, I like if I had to spell it how it sounded, it's like SEEJINXKI or something. Krzywdzinski.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is weird. I don't know. I haven't seen the breakdown of Polish or what the deal is, but yeah, obviously it's weird.
Yep. So half Polish and half Filipino heritage.
Yes.
That's an interesting mix.
Yeah. So I guess the history of that is mum's Filipino. So most people that are half, it's always the mum that is Filipino, obviously. And then obviously dad's white or Polish.
Yep.
And then dad was traveling and he went to Philippines, met my mum. From what I know is that we were like, I was born in Philippines, like in Manila, but we're actually from Bicol in Philippines because the way that Philippines is situated is that there's thousands of islands in like an island, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically Manila is the capital. I was born there and I think we stayed there for a little bit and then we moved to Australia.
Yep.
I first moved to Australia, I think it was when I was 2, but we moved to Glennon, which is like just like a small random town. Like Glennon, have you heard of Glennon? Is it Glennon? Glendon, yeah. I think
like
Glennon.
up near Mackay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
I don't know,
tiny little like it's sort of centered around mining and all farming.
Yeah. I don't know much. The only reason why I know this is when I was in primary school, we had to do like a ask our parents history. And my parents just like told me all this stuff, so I'm just regurgitating what they said.
And you're like, oh shit,
really? Yeah. So Glendon, sorry.
Yeah.
Glendon there for a little bit. Then we moved to Dysart.
Yep.
And then I actually lived most of my life in Byfield or Farnborough.
Yep.
Yeah. So pretty weird. I think like my parents were just like doing random work. Like my dad's a chef.
Okay.
And I think at that time mum wasn't really working much.
Yep.
But yeah, mainly chefing. I'm assuming just like for restaurants or some random thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sweet. So Glendon and then Dysart, they're two very, very small towns.
Yeah, really small. And then I guess that's why it made more sense for them to move to Byfield or Farnborough because it's like quite segregated, quite little. And at the time, my parents were working at Bridges, like it was ugly at the time.
Yeah, rightio.
So they were working, like my dad was a chef and then my mum was housekeeping.
Yep.
And they got really, really cheap rent where we were staying. Like, I don't know what the exact price was, but I'm pretty sure they said it was like, I don't know, like $110 or something. You know what I mean? Which is like hearing that now.
It's like
the rental.
Damn,
thing.
can I find that? Like,
yeah. And it was nice. Like it was really nice. The only thing that was probably weird is I definitely reckon my parents were like hoarders. Or mainly my mum, and they just had shit everywhere.
Oh, really?
Like, it was crazy. Yeah. So if anyone remembered going to my place back in Farnborough, it was like. Yeah, it was mental. Yeah, it wasn't messy, like it wasn't dirty.
Yep.
My mum was just really into decorating, so there was just like decorations.
Okay, so like, because like how there's like minimalists that have like nothing on their walls and shit.
Yeah.
Like the complete opposite of
Opposite.
that.
Yeah. There was just
kind of
crap.
like organized chaos, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Like it was not dirty at all
Yeah.
in any way. It was just like there was so
Just-
much crap.
yeah.
But I think it was only because we were living in a small place as well.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it felt quite congested.
Yeah, right. So how old were you when you moved to, I guess, Farnborough, Byfield, this area?
Yeah, I would say I think it was I think it would have been 5.
Okay.
5 years old.
Yeah, so moved to Australia, to Glendon at 2.
Yeah.
And so then for about 3 years between Glendon and Dysart.
To Dysart, yeah. And then to basically move to here when I was 5.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And you've got siblings?
Yeah. So obviously I'm turning 33 in September. I've got
getting old, man.
getting old. My sister's 30, and then my brother is 29.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
So just us 3.
Just the 3 of you?
Yeah.
Cool. What was it like growing up as the eldest?
I don't know. I can only say from my perspective, but I guess being the eldest, I probably was the one that I had to break most of the rules, so my siblings could,
so that they could
Yeah,
have
you
a bit
know,
of freedom.
yeah, exactly. And my parents were probably really strict for ages and ages, and then probably loosened up a lot more when I turned maybe like 16 or 15 kind of thing.
Yep.
So yeah, all I remember is having like a pretty strict like childhood, and yeah, I guess like being older and then having to break the rules in terms of drinking,
Yeah.
staying out, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was all right. The only thing, being an older person now, like being the eldest out of 3, I still feel obliged sometimes to, I guess, be like into a,
almost like parent.
Yeah.
Not parent, but like be that role model or that I don't know, protector.
Yeah. I would say that, and obviously it's like I don't talk about it often, but my dad passed away, and when that happened, I think I had to step up into a bit of a role. But in saying that, obviously I was also, I guess, affected in terms of like obviously try to guide my siblings, because obviously my first thought was like, oh, my brother's gonna be getting into this, or my sister, or whatever. So I felt like I stepped into that situation of that, but also trying to comprehend the whole situation of
While
itself.
you're while you're dealing with
definitely. So and still being quite young, that it happened a while ago. So yeah.
That must have been tricky, man.
Yeah.
And so you're still close with your siblings now?
Yeah. So, I'm supposed to, or was supposed to, leave my kids with my brother and sister, because we're going to like the Japanese restaurant.
Yep.
But they're going to come over tomorrow and catch up with them. So
cool.
I still try and catch up with them as much as possible. I don't get to see my mum as often, but I definitely try and keep in touch with at least my brother and my sister.
Yeah. Oh, they're all very lovely people. I've met them, plenty of times, and we get along really, really well.
Yeah.
What was I bladed? My thought just fell completely out of my bloody head. Jesus. Can't remember.
That's all right.
So you grew up most of your life really in Yeppoon?
Yeah. I would say always around that area. So obviously my background would be I lived in Farnborough, went to Farnborough Primary School the whole time. I think I was the only Asian kid there at the time.
Really?
And I was super, super short and still am short. But I remember there was a guy there that was stupidly tall and we were friends. And it was just crazy to...
It's like yin and yang.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. Sam Thomas is his name.
Okay.
He's probably still like crazy tall.
Don't reckon he's shrunk yet.
No, definitely not. Yeah, well, I shrunk, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it was cool.
Gravity gets a hold of some people, man.
It does, yeah. Farnborough was cool. I actually really like it. The only thing that was weird for me was that my mum didn't drive and my dad was always at work. So the only thing I probably didn't like about Farnborough was being segregated from everyone.
Yep.
I look back at it being older and think, holy crap, like I'd like to go out there now.
Yep.
But I think if I do live out at Farnborough, it's basically to start, make some plants and like fruit plants and stuff. Fruit plants.
So the shops are a front. Got it.
I want to have some animals, and obviously like Geordie, she'll be able to drive. Like we both drive, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
But I think being younger and living out at Farnborough, I we felt isolated heaps. So
Yeah, yeah,
luckily
yeah,
I
yeah.
had siblings, so it was cool.
Yep.
Farnborough itself was awesome, but being young, being brought up in Farnborough, I was like, nah, this isn't it. Like my closest neighbor is,
Yeah.
2-3 kilometers down the road.
Yeah.
And no way I'm walking that. No way.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. And so you went to Farnborough Primary School.
Yep.
How long were you there for?
The whole time.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, so grade 1 to 7.
Yep.
And really ironic, but I'm actually hoping to go to the Farnborough Fair, which is on the 25th of August.
Okay.
If I can line it up, I'm hopefully gonna try and do some cuts there. So
Yeah, sweet.
it's gonna be cool just doing the full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I'm reflecting on my childhood or being younger, and I want to be out at Farnborough, I actually haven't been to the Farnborough Primary School in that long.
Yep.
And I'm trying to think of a non-creepy way to suss out the school. So this would be like a perfect example of
Yeah.
man, like,
Yeah,
because
okay, yeah.
obviously being shorter, going there, everything felt so big, and I've grown probably 10 centimeters in that time. So I'm hoping
10's probably a bit of a push, man.
yeah, maybe. So I'm hoping like it's kind of feels normal height or something, eh? But I'm actually really excited if I do get to check it out.
Yeah.
It'll feel very like surreal, I reckon.
Yeah. And so, because you guys are really hoping to move down that way.
Yeah.
That's sort of like a bit of a long-term goal or plan for you?
Yeah, so if I had to paint like a bit of a plan, it would be we're opening the shop in Yeppoon. So hopefully October is the date that we're going to open up.
Okay, nice.
Outside of all that, I'm giving myself maybe 3 years, hopefully. But the whole idea is that we want to open up the shop obviously ASAP, and then we want to live on a good property in terms of like acreage to be able to have some farm animals and do some cool stuff, hopefully.
And the plants.
Yeah, only because I feel like right now the reason why I work so hard is family, realistically, and I haven't traveled that much realistically. So I wouldn't mind, instead of paying all this money to go overseas to get away from life, what better way than having your slice of paradise at home?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to go home after work, and it's like the holiday house. That's
rather
how I picture
than
it.
like escaping your reality.
Yeah.
Make your reality.
Yeah, and that's my
What
day
you
to
want.
day. Yeah, exactly. Not to talk bad about anyone that travels. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this property that I have envisioned, hopefully, because I haven't, like until I experience it, I won't really know.
Of course.
But I want to make it like a slice of paradise. Really build something. We do have a house currently, but it's
You're not living on the street.
It's a home, but it just, I think what I've got envisioned for the family and us, and what we can provide and do, I think it'll be cool.
Yeah. No, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. And so, are you wanting to check out the school because you're wanting to send your kids to?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I think we want to send our kids, the kids to Farnborough, as well as, I don't know, I just want to experience it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever go to your school reunion or anything like that?
No, I had one come up not too long ago, like as in maybe 2-3 years, something like that, a high school reunion, and I didn't end up making it, but I was really interested or intrigued to see, like, I guess, how people's lives had panned out and changed and what they had or hadn't done. And yeah,
it's weird. Like when we went to our school reunion, so I went to Yeppoon State High School.
Okay. Yeah.
We had what is it now? I think we've been out of school 14 years now or something. So when we had a 10-year reunion.
That feels so wild to say, hey.
Yeah.
We're here, yeah.
Oh, for sure, man. Like to think that I graduated 09 and then I have people that come in that, they're like born on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm getting old now, But yeah, even going to the school reunion, everyone's awesome. It was cool.
Yep.
It just felt so surreal because I felt like we knew people like each other, but it's not the same version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like what we remember each other from 10 years ago is completely different to now.
As a child.
Yeah.
As a child trying to figure out the world and stuff.
Yeah.
And now we're just adults trying to figure out the world and
same
stuff.
thing.
Like,
Yeah. And it was just weird because I guess everyone fell into their own old school cliques.
Yeah.
Which is like really random as well.
Yeah.
I obviously try to do my best to get around and talk to everyone as much as I can.
Yep.
There was definitely some people there that went a different journey to what everyone expected.
Yep.
Which was probably the coolest part about it in a good or bad way.
Yep.
But it was
interesting.
Just interesting. Yeah, different paths, how you picture life. And I always thought after finishing school, people that were like 20 had shit completely figured out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And here I am as like a 30-year-old still winging, not winging it, but still trying to figure it out.
But also
life.
still like a lot winging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I feel
not throwing caution to the wind, but like, just trying to figure shit out.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's the whole idea. Like, I think we're adults, but we're realistically just kids in grown-up bodies. Like, we're still
100%.
We're still trying to figure stuff out. Even for myself, you know, being a business owner, having family, you know, buying properties and all this other kind of stuff doesn't really mean crap to me. It's just like trying to figure out life and all this kind of stuff is, I don't know. It definitely feels more simple as a kid. The whole idea of like just going up to someone and be like, we can be friends. Now there's like levels to certain things and all these like boundaries. But
100%.
But to go back on the topic, I guess it was just cool to see people's journeys, their personalities from 10 years onwards, like how that sort of went on.
And then how you interact with them as well, because as you grow, you change as well, and you might not mesh with or in the same way with those certain people or personality types or whatever. Yeah,
for sure. It was cool. So it was just cool just catching up with everyone. Especially obviously spending 5 years of your life with someone, not seeing them for 10 years, and then spending one night of like catching up. It's like, whoa, it just felt like a big, what do you call it? Like reality TV show. That's what I kept on telling people. Like, bro, I'm getting pretty drunk, but this feels like really like weird. Like I know these people, but I don't know them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so you finished, you graduated?
Yeah, graduated year 12. So I went to Yeppoon High. We actually moved from Farnborough. I used to live on, Mickerville Hill for a fair while. We were there for a little bit whilst we were building a house at Emu Park. And then we did move to Emu Park where my parents built a house, and I went to Yeppoon High. So I was in Yeppoon High, went all the way through. I did start Yeppoon High whilst I was in Farnborough. But we did move by the time we moved to Emu Park, I think we were there for the last 2-3 years of my school.
Okay,
yeah. But Yeppoon High was cool.
Catching the bus then?
Catching the bus. Catching the bus at that time. We always caught the bus. Like, it was just normal. You know, even in Farnborough, I remember my mum used to always walk us down, because where we were situated in Farnborough, it was like a bit of a trail to get to the house.
Okay, yep.
And I think my parents have watched that many criminal killing shows that my mum used to always walk us down, like to drop us off. And then she used to give us the big pep talk, like, if anyone pulls up, like, don't talk to them.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't take their candy. Don't go and pat their puppy dogs.
None of that stuff. We never had that happen. But now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. But at the time, you're like, Mum, you're freaking out.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
good.
Yeah, this is Australia. You know, it's all sweet. But it makes sense. But they used to watch. What is it? Like
CSI.
Yeah, CSI, Law and Order, X-Files, like all that kind of stuff. So I think their brain was bugging a bit, but
Man, I remember as a kid, like, I'd fall asleep with like something like Law and Order on in the background. No, I like sometimes I'd have nightmares of just like fucked up shit, because I'd been watching like all this crazy stuff, and as a kid, like my child brain trying to comprehend it and whatnot, and couldn't. And then just wake up like all these terrible nightmares and shit. Like, oh fuck. I
remember I've tried watching a lot of shows. Now that I'm an adult, that I used to watch when I was younger. Have you done that?
So I used to really like Rocket Power. Did you ever see that?
I feel like I have, but I can't remember.
It was a cartoon. It was like extreme sports and stuff. Like, there was just like a bunch of kids, and they were just super talented at like all these extreme sports, like BMX, skating, surfing.
Yeah, I think
snowboarding and skiing.
I feel like I have,
Yeah, and there was like one of the dads, he was really cool. He like owned a surf shop and like had dreads and shit. And
I feel like I have. You watched it?
Yeah, dude, I loved that show as a kid so much. And once I got into like later teens, I was just talking to a friend of mine about it, and he's like, "Oh, I've got like every single episode." And I was like, "Yo!" He went out and bought a hard drive, put it on the hard drive for me, and he's like, "Here you go, man." And I was like, "Yeah, sick." I've since lost the hard drive, so
it's not a streaming site.
Actually, don't know.
Yeah, because that's what we did. So we ended up going on Prime or Paramount or something.
Yeah, okay.
And it had most of the shows. So like the shows I grew up with would have been like Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
A little bit of Ren and Stimpy, like not the adult version.
Bro,
but like
that show is fucked up, man.
It is crazy. Like, but there's two different versions. That's the thing.
Oh, there is?
So, yeah, there's like a complete adult version, which is like where the sus clips that you see.
Yeah, okay.
And then there is like a younger one. It's still a little bit...
like risque sort of.
Yeah. Some of the stuff you watch as an adult, you're like, you know what I mean?
Is that normal for children to be watching?
Yeah, it's the same thing with heaps of shows, man, like Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
You heard of the background of that?
No.
So
I remember watching it as a kid.
Supposedly he's like a what do you call it? Like an adult talk line.
Yeah,
That
right.
that was his job supposedly.
Yeah,
So
okay.
whenever he rings up, there's like people on the phone that are trying to like ask him sus stuff, and he's kind of like, "Oh, what the hell?" And then it kind of hangs up. But that's what that was like his job. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, you know, I used to watch heaps of Cow and Chicken.
Cow and chicken.
You never watch that stuff?
I don't know if I've heard.
Bro,
If
yeah.
I've heard of it or remember.
I think that's
it.
why I'm messed up. All these shows that I like I used to watch are definitely the reason why my brain operates how it does. But the weird thing on top of that is, whilst living in Farnborough, we didn't have like normal TV.
Yeah.
There was no reception.
Yeah, really.
So we end up getting Ostar at a young age,
Yep.
not because of any money situation.
Yep.
It was just like the only way we could watch TV.
Yeah.
And I used to watch heaps of weird
Yeah,
crap on
because
TV.
it's almost like when you're exposed to the internet for the first time.
Yeah.
Because Ostar, in comparison to like normal TV,
yeah,
there's so much shit. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
there's Cartoon Network has its own channel.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. That's how I watch a lot of stuff. But on the flip side, because my parents were not, you know, born in Australia, we never watched footy.
Yeah.
So I never,
Yep.
never watch any sports. Anyone
Yep.
that came to school that talked about like Home and Away or some TV show, I'll be like, I have no idea. I don't think
okay.
I've ever watched one episode of Home and Away ever.
Okay.
Any Aussie, like proper Aussie shows, I don't think I've ever watched.
Yeah. Okay.
Even footy, I think I watched my first Origin game. What would it have been? Would have been maybe like 6 years ago or something.
Really?
Yeah, my first, and I've only ever watched one Origin game, and I watched one grand final, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, because all the boys here in the barbershop
Yeah.
all talk footy.
Because there's a footy tipping comp, isn't there?
Yeah. And then
I'm assuming you're not in
no,
that.
no. I do.
Dude, you should just like, fuck it, throw caution to the wind and just like wing it, and because you might win. Like,
Oh, well, for sure. Like Jared at the moment, I think is on top currently, and he's using ChatGPT for his tips. And
really?
He's killing it. You know what I mean?
okay.
Yeah, he was using.
Surely that's got to be cheating.
I don't know. Is it? You know,
Well, like,
that's how we were doing our bets for a little bit.
yeah, and it didn't fucking
yeah,
work.
yeah.
It didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So fuck ChatGPT just quietly.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, no. Like AI overlords, I love you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna like demonetize this now and like really push it low.
Yeah. And so you finished school. What was high school like for you?
High school was cool. I only got stabbed in high school maybe 3 times in European High. Three, maybe 3.5.
3.5 times. What was like the
No,
just a little blade or something?
No, European High was actually good.
Yeah.
There was actually no stabbings. Funny enough, because everyone that is from Rocky used to think that European High was.
Hang on.
No stabbings. European High was cool. Like anyone that would say crap about European High, or I don't know, like any school or public school in particular, isn't that bad from my recollection. Like European High was cool.
Yep.
I think the whole time there was only maybe 3 or 4 fights I ever saw.
Really?
Which I thought was nothing realistically. I think the most exciting part was when dogs walk through the school and everyone used to
Yeah,
freaking
it goes
go, like,
crazy.
Yeah. But I thought European High was cool. I actually really liked the school. The community there is cool. All the teachers were cool. I never had a big problem with the school in any type of way.
Yep.
I think I probably should have like applied myself a little bit more towards the end of my schooling career.
Like 11 and 12. Like
11
year
and
11 and 12.
Yeah, at that time I had a girlfriend, and I think I was just like going out partying.
At that age.
Yeah, where like, you know, your mind's everywhere else. But even if I did like apply myself to school a bit more, personally, for me, I don't think it would have got me any more in the career that I like went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in saying that, by finishing grade 11 or 12, if I applied myself more, I probably could have changed paths, because after school, I didn't do anything. Like I had no direction or anything.
Yeah,
So,
okay. And didn't know what you wanted to do or what you wanted from life or anything like
Yeah,
that?
definitely. Yeah. And it definitely wasn't my parents' fault, because I do have heaps of memories of my parents being like, hey, like I want you to, you know, do this, or I want you to figure out what you want to do after school.
Yep.
And at that time, the only thing that was a little bit tricky is that my parents actually ended up landing a job out at the mines.
Okay.
Towards the end of my schooling career.
Yep.
And that's how they afforded the house in Emu Park. But in saying that,
okay.
the flip side is that I think they just couldn't take care of us as well
Yep.
towards the end. So I think that's why living quite strict, being quite young, and then actually getting a little bit
because they were away. So
away. And I was like, all right,
so
sweet.
they couldn't keep a watchful eye. And they didn't know all of like exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that means I could go out and I'd do stuff. I never played up as hard as what I hear other people. Like I think I would have ever wagged school maybe once that I remember.
Yeah. You know, I only wagged school once, maybe twice.
Really?
That was it.
Yeah. I actually like school. Like you will never be in that type of community or talking to your friends that much ever again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's so weird to think all that kind of stuff. Like there was one time that you and the boys had your very last get together, and that was the last time you ever saw each other. You know, it's just weird to think about.
And you know what's funny? When you were just saying like you and the boys, the last time you got together, I was like, to kick the footy. That was what like my brain went to, and then I was like, well, maybe not for you.
No,
like,
not me. Yeah, not me. Ping pong.
Can you play ping pong?
No.
I fucking love ping pong, man.
I can play it, but I'm not like I actually haven't played it properly.
Yeah, okay.
But I think because I'm Asian, it's supposed to be inbuilt.
Well, I must be part Asian. It come up in my Facebook memories the other day. I think it was like 5 years ago. I won a ping pong tournament.
Damn.
In Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah. Just rocked up and I was like, oh, I'll play.
and you won.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine all the Asians being angry at that.
Yeah.
They're like training 7 times a week. You just pull up.
No, it wasn't like a full on like.
That's what I was thinking.
It was more like just like an amateur.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still all right.
Yeah. It was actually
no
really
Asians.
interesting. I think there was like a few,
Mm.
but like I don't know, maybe like half Asians or something.
Yeah,
but
maybe it's like not high enough for them to do. So like we'll let this guy get it.
Yeah, or maybe they just thought I was like Godzilla gonna eat them or something. Oh shit, yeah, he's coming. That was really interesting when I was there. So like, because there was like proper like professional, or what I would deem to be professional people playing, and the way they serve the ball and hit it and stuff, they actually stomp their foot on the ground as they hit the ball. And I was like, why the fuck are they doing that? Like, kept seeing everyone doing it. And I eventually stopped someone. I was like, why are you doing that? And they're like, if we stomp our foot as we hit the ball, they then can't hear the sound of the wind coming off the ball to know which way it's going to curve.
Bro.
And I was like, is that how, like, fucking full on and, like, fine and intense it is? And they were like, yeah. I was like, holy shit, I'm just hitting a fucking ball, man. Like,
that's gangster.
I'm not thinking about any of that shit. And they're like, yeah, no, that's how serious this is. And I was like, fuck.
Bro, that's actually cool. I'd probably be making sounds like ad-libs or
like tennis players, like, So you finished year 12, didn't really know what you wanted, I guess, from life or to do with yourself or anything like that?
Yeah, not at all. So basically, as soon as I finished school, no direction for myself, I mean. I moved out of home quite young, so I probably moved out of home maybe 17 or something. Moved out to Rocky. Actually used to live with Brenton for ages. And I was working at Frenchville just washing dishes. For ages. Ages and ages. So it was good, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so that's the whole thing. But washing dishes, I was like, man, there's more to life. I can't be washing dishes all the time.
100%.
And all I could think about was when I was younger, I used to have all these weird hairstyles all the time. I used to have like all wacky haircuts and all this kind of stuff. I used to love watching anime, and I was really inspired by the Filipino hair culture, but also just like Asian hair. And at that time, I think it was like the Polynesians or the Islanders were doing
the Skucks.
Like, Skucks Deluxe, bro.
Yeah.
So seeing all that hair stuff, I was like, bro, that actually looks cool. I used to always be interested. So if anyone remembers me in Yeppoon High, I had like a blonde skunk strip down. I used to have like a big fringe. I used to have all this crazy hair.
And like the back spiked up.
Yeah. And it's even funny because I had a rat's tail as well, which is now a horsey now. And it's just doing the cycle 10 years or, 15 years later. But I used to always rock these really weird haircuts. But it was what I enjoyed and what I used to spend time on a lot of the time. So when I was washing dishes and thinking, man, what do I want to do? Like I've got no skills. I don't know what I want to do. All I knew was I wanted to be happy and then make money in that order. That was like my whole thing. And all I could think about whilst I was at school was what did I like, which was hair. And at that time, not many dudes were doing hair. It was not a thing.
Guys, it's like short back and sides for everyone. That's
it. So there wasn't many guys doing hair as hairdressers, and even whilst being young, they tried their best, but because I was getting these wacky haircuts, like towards the end of my schooling, I was getting kind of the haircuts that I wanted, but I always remember when I was young getting just crap haircuts all the time.
Like
and
asking for a particular thing and people just not being able to deliver.
Yeah, definitely. Or thinking that they could do to do certain things, which was just not normal in Yeppoon. Because the idea of men's haircut was just, as you said, like short back and sides or whatever. Yeah. So I remember being young and specifically looking at these pictures and being like, I want this.
Yep.
And I could see the hairdressers like, why are these kids, like, why are they asking for this? So like, I don't think it was normal for young people at that stage to be able to ask for that haircut and genuinely want it. And when I used to get, because I'm Asian, bowl cuts and like short haircuts and things that I didn't like, I was like, man, like, this kind of sucks. So I remember being in high school, liking my haircuts and thinking of that whole ideology of haircutting. And I was like, man, I could probably do this and, see where this eventuates to.
Yeah.
So I did hand out my resume whilst working, like at washing dishes everywhere. Rocky, Yeppoon, Emu Park.
Yep.
And no one called me, no job offer, nothing.
Yep.
And I was
hairdressers and
hairdressers. Yeah. Well, there was no barbering at that stage, really. You know, barbering really didn't. It didn't take off till way later.
Yep.
There was barbers, but they were very old school, just one barber.
Yep.
Just the older gentleman just cutting hair his whole life. No way he's gonna put up with some young dude.
Trying to get like spiky
shit. Yeah. It'd be like
and layers and
it'd be like,
shit.
don't mess with the Zohan, you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, it'd just be two different levels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So nothing against them. It's just like it's just the way they operate. Yeah. So I was thinking, man, maybe they're not taking me serious. Like, I do genuinely want to do this because it's out of the norm. At that stage, there was, as I said, there was no young dudes.
Yeah.
The next dude that would probably be cutting that was my age, around my age, would have been, I was 18 at the time. I think they would have been maybe like 30 or 35.
Okay.
Way older. You know what I mean? So to see this young dude say like, hey, I want to make... I
want to make the people silky smooth.
Yeah, silky smooth. I can see now why they would have been like, nah, this dude's not for real. You know, he's washing dishes.
Yeah, he's getting Centrelink and he's got to hand out X amount of resumes so he gets his next payment.
Yeah. So nothing against them, I get it.
Yeah.
So what I did was I did Cert 2 in hairdressing at the TAFE.
Okay, so you could then have that on your resume.
Yeah. And it was a good way for me to figure out if I truly liked it or not. I had nothing to lose. I was 18, living with my mate.
Yep.
And I thought, stuff it. I'm gonna see if this is what it's all about. And as soon as I started, because it was the the TAFE and Rocky here. As soon as I started, I was like, yep, this is it.
Yep.
This is cool. This is what I want to do.
Yep.
And then basically did the same thing again, which was handed out resumes everywhere.
Yep. But this time with that Cert 2 on it.
Cert 2,
so
yeah.
You look,
look a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
And then I obviously got my call back. My first call back was at Steffen's, so that's where I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were the only place to call you back, and
I think it was just Steffen's and maybe one other. I think maybe, but all I remember was Steffen's in particular. I have a feeling they were the only ones.
Yeah.
Personally.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then obviously they're the only ones that call me back. So yes, I will start.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I was excited. Like, I was just like, awesome. Steffen's is the only place. Well, they're the best.
Yep.
Who cares?
Yeah.
In my eyes, like, I don't care who the person is or what. I just wanted a shot.
Yep.
That's how I think about it. So, yeah, it was cool. Started at Steffen's.
Is that Yeppoon or Rocky?
Rocky.
Okay.
Yeah, they had two places. They were in...
sorry, because you'd moved into Rocky.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. So skip ahead, like, because I moved out of home and stuff.
Yeah.
I moved into Rocky and was, like, living with Brenton.
Yeah.
And, basically was doing that. So, Steffen's was cool. It was just different. Hairdressing, obviously. So, that was, like, hair coloring and all that kind of stuff, which was still good. I was the only dude that was working there, and I think I was the only... or one of the first guys to ever work in Steffen's in Rocky.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Very few would have done it.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was really, really cool. Just I wanted to change a little bit because at that stage, it was still the same scenario. I was doing heaps of men's cuts, but I spent a little bit more time and effort into trying to perfect and do more men's cuts because I could see these guys that were getting haircuts, and it was just like whatever. It was just it felt like a chore. a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time when I was doing haircuts, I was like, man, we should try this and do that and blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. And a lot of people weren't getting around it at all, which is okay. Like, I
Yep.
get it.
Yep.
But there was very few that were like, yeah, man, like, I want to try this and I want to do that. And I was
Yep.
like, man, I can probably vibe with this a little bit more.
Yep.
And then also working with women, not that it was bad or anything. It's just like a different dynamic in terms of
Yep.
trying to choose the right words without making it sound bad. But basically working with women in comparison to men in the hair industry, there was definitely like a little bit more talk amongst each other
Yep.
about certain things.
Yep.
So it was a little bit different in dynamics.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean? Where if there's a situation here at work, especially with guys or even with some of the girls here, we can kind of deal with it pretty quick, and
Yep.
it's it's pretty straightforward. So
Also, you've got a really tight knit group.
yeah, which I really try to push and stuff. So
Of course, yeah. Well, because I was going to ask as well, like, what was it like, I guess, getting into the hairdresser industry as a straight male? Because I sort of like, it's a bit stereotypical, but like, you think of male hairdressers and you're like, probably gay. Like,
definitely, and that
and so like, even though it is a stereotype and, it would often be wrong, people would still sort of, I guess, carry that mindset or connotation with them.
for sure, yeah.
Did you cop any of that, or?
Probably a little bit, and I'm sure people probably thought it as well, because I think at that time, the way that I dress now, especially in comparison to the way that I would dress and look back then, was definitely way different.
Yep.
When I was working at Stefan's, it was mainly all black, and you weren't allowed tattoo showing either.
Okay.
So it was like I used to have a long sleeve, like button-up shirt,
Yep.
and then like slacks basically, and then I used to have like a big fringe, and all I can grow was a mustache. But back then I looked very like definitely more feminine, I reckon.
Yeah.
And even when I look back at pictures, I'm like, man, like, yeah, the whole style of that was different, but that's how I perceived hairdressing at that time.
Yep.
But on that topic as well, and I wasn't going to say it before, but being the young dude hairdressing at Stefan's or in general, like in Rocky or even Yeppoon, I think I probably would have been one of the only straight ones at that time for ages. I'm sure there was probably a couple and I'm probably missing it out, but at that time, you're 100% right. In this area, I never copped it in any way at all. I think some women particularly wanted to try getting a haircut by a male, so it probably worked better in my favor. And maybe I was so oblivious to it, but I never copped or thought about like anyone thinking anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure to answer that properly. I'm sure people thought about it, but they never said it to my
directly.
face. Yeah, which is okay. Like I'm happy with people.
You can say shit behind my back.
Whatever.
I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. But yeah. It's weird.
And so, Stefan's, how long were you there for?
I was probably at Stefan's for 2 years,
Okay.
and then it was cool. But I got offered a place to work at, which was Barber's Arms, which was like the first modern barbershop.
Okay, yep. That wasn't just like the one old dude, one
Yeah.
chair.
So
Trying to modernise or revolutionise barbering.
definitely. Yeah. So it was cool. The idea of it was that I got asked to manage the store,
Okay.
and I was also working at RNA at the time as well.
What's RNA?
It's like a hairdressing salon. So
Okay.
the person that owned RNA also owned Barber's Arms.
Okay, yep.
And then basically I used to do hairdressing, and then I used to manage barbering as well.
Okay.
And it wasn't too bad. The only thing at the time was like, I think being so young and not actually even being like qualified or probably having the knowledge that I should have managing a young crew was probably really tricky.
Yeah.
And it kind of didn't work out for me.
Okay,
And it'll,
okay.
like not... Yeah. It just kind of didn't work. The whole thing from my behalf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just a young kid, probably like 20 odd years old at that stage?
I would have been 20, 21 or something at that stage. Yeah. And
A
then
kid managing other kids in something that you've only done for like 2 years.
yeah, definitely.
That you don't really know like all the ins and outs of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, and it's more often than not going to work out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So it was a little bit interesting the way that they kind of did the dynamics of the store. But it is what it is. Like they did that. So I was there for 6 months, and then basically I left to work with Sock at Hair Motor.
Okay.
So that was my next big thing. But working with Sock was really cool. He had an awesome business mindset, and I felt like I learned a lot off him in terms of not only a little bit of barbering, but just like just things like, you know, just your general knowledge, not just cutting hair, but like everything. You know
Like
what I mean?
life or
Yeah,
business
probably
or
a little bit
all of the above?
probably a little bit of everything, really.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was cool to work at Hair Motor, and obviously finish my trade off there. I took a little bit longer to get qualified, only for the reason is every time you sign up to a new place, you have to push back your apprenticeship a little bit.
Okay.
And on top of that, I was supposed to finish off hairdressing, but especially working at Steffen's, where I was predominantly doing men's haircuts by choice. Like I was like just good at it, so I just kept on doing it. And the girls were wanting to do more foils and like make more money and stuff, so they were doing that, and I was like, sweet, like I can you know, do all the guys cuts. And then working in the first modern barbershop at Barber's Arms, and I was like, yeah man, I need to double down on this, like this is something that I want to do. And then
so
working,
that was the moment, or not the moment, but like, so working at Barber's Arms, that's when you knew.
Like,
I've definitely made the right choice. This is what I want to do.
I could sort of tell that that's like the direction that I wanted to do, because even being younger, and it's weird because I've actually found my journal, but I used to journal, not really journal, but have goals. Like I used to write down my goals and be like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And in one of my goals was to open up like a hairdressing salon.
Okay.
When I, in like my first year, I would have wrote like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then obviously doing Barber's Arms and doing more barbering related stuff, I knew, I want to get into barbering more. I want to be able to achieve this and do what I think would be barbering or more male related, only for the reason is seeing men go into hairdressing salons. Not now, it's different, but back then especially, I could tell it felt like a chore to them, and they weren't really, they were just getting short back and sides, and it was whatever. When I contrast it now, like guys are pumped, you know, they want to get a fresh haircut. When I see young kids come in, it's not a chore. It's if it was up to them, they'd get a haircut every week, 2 weeks. The banter's awesome. Like these kids that are young, they're talking complete nonsense with us, and it's the best. You know what I mean? Like just seeing that reflection or that area that I've managed to achieve it's probably like the real reason why, like why I did it. As well as I know my younger self, if he was in this place, he'd be like, bro, this is where I want to be. I could tell, like being younger, I would be here after school and just hanging out.
You'd be like, hey, could I sweep the floor? Just to like,
or whatever. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's probably one of my big things. Like now that I'm reflecting why I want to move to Farnborough, and I probably want to like think more, making my younger version like be like, oh bro, you've done it. This is something that you've created, and like this is cool.
It was somewhat recently, so probably like in the last year or two.
I
feel I read this thing that said you become the person that you needed or wanted as a child,
for sure,
in life. And like it hit me, and I was like, shit, like I am that guy. And it's just like and then like I went on this little journey, like thinking back and going through it all, and I was like, and so obviously you're much the same yourself. Like,
for sure. And I feel like everyone has to reflect and think about what the direction or what would have made their younger version happy. But on the flip side, the only thing I think sometimes is you only turned out like that because of what has happened. So sometimes I'm like, man, if I give my kids too much money or give them this, I only turned out the person I did. And I'm not great or good or anything, but I'm like, I only got molded because of the struggles. You know what I mean? Of like the thought, like what has made me or molded me into what I am today. And if they don't have that, then, you know, maybe they need some of that, you know, resistance and
100%. There can't be no resistance. And like, it was almost like people that go to the gym, or like, you know, or people that don't use their muscles at all. You know, you don't use them, they'll deteriorate and you become weak. And it's much the same as like any sort of struggle or resistance in life. If you don't use your ability to maneuver through situations, you're not going to be able to ever do that. So
I definitely, I always think about that now that I have kids, is just trying to figure out what is enough to give, but, you know, not be arrogant or whatever. And I guess everyone goes through that, but I constantly think about that kind of stuff.
Is that like one of the bigger things, like more often on your mind than anything else, or?
I don't know. It's just like, as I said, like you only turn out how you did because of those situations, whether they be traumatic or crazy or whatever. like, I don't know. It's weird. Especially even reflecting, like, as I said, I don't talk about it much, but like when my dad passed, he actually like committed suicide. So
Yep.
when I had to step up and think about that kind of stuff, it's like, did I think about owning a barbershop or getting in this direction or doing certain things because of that situation? And if that didn't happen, how would my life play out?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why a lot of the time I push harder or think about things more is like that, you know, like that little situation is like, it's just crazy.
And so then, like, so it's funny that, you know, as a kid or whatever, you really liked hairstyles and whatnot, and now you've been able to open up a barbershop, and as you said, like, people come in and they're able to not only get a haircut and look really good when they leave, but they can have that time to chat to someone, because outside of like pubs and clubs and bars or whatever, like the opportunity for men to sort of sit one-on-one and I guess talk or vent or unload or whatever is few and far between.
Definitely. Yeah. I think barbershops are probably the only space where guys can be sober and be with a complete stranger.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it a lot of the time. Like for me to be even present with someone that has different walks of life and I managed to make him feel good and give him a great haircut is like friggin' God's work.
And so do you find do you hold a lot of importance over that given the situation with your dad, or just being able to allow that safe place for people to talk and whatnot?
I guess so. Like I'm aware of it. I'm much like kind of weird about the situation, so I can only help people through what, like I guess like the way that I kind of experienced it. I kind of think about, okay, if this person's going through this certain situation, this is how I would have dealt with it. Or like if I was to get a haircut after, you know, like someone passing, like this is, you know, these are like the things that I would think about, and it's different. But I think my thought analogy to a lot of stuff is pretty offbeat. So
I think it is too. Yeah. Because obviously we're very good mates. We hang out all the time, and some of the ideas that you bounce around, and I'm like, how does your brain I don't know, come up with that, man?
Yeah. But I'm aware. Like I think like barbershops are definitely like a good space for mental health and men to talk and all this kind of stuff. And I'm definitely aware of it. I definitely just try not to. I want them to feel like just feel good and not be like, you know, when someone sits in my chair, I think they're in like a throne for half an hour. You know what I mean? Like. They're important right now, and I want to try and make them feel and look important as much as possible. So with the way that we might curate that is up to them, you know, but it's for them to take it.
Yeah,
you know?
and that sort of, I guess, the way that they curate that as well gives them the chance to be the king for
of course,
that 30 minutes or whatever it is.
I want them to do that. I want to ask him how's their day going. I want to tell him like, bro, you're looking fresh. Like I want to make sure that these are the things because. And I'm not complaining, but guys don't get this stuff, you know.
No, not at all.
And
not at all.
And as rude as it sounds, like, it doesn't matter either.
It's
rude, it's blunt, but like that's why I'm a bit offbeat with things. It's like it's just, you know,
we don't need to be pat on the back all the time just to get through life, sort of thing.
Exactly, and I get it.
It's get up and go.
Exactly, yeah. And I think I only think about that obviously because of what I've had happen as well as like business.
Yep.
No one cares that my kids keep me up at night. No one cares about I've, you know, got bruises on my face or I might get punched in the face. But at the end of the day, just like life, you know, this is what we've been given and what I do with it is whatever. I feel like at this time, like, you know, my job is to do this. So you know, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. And so was it hair mode?
Hair motor.
Hair motor.
Yeah.
And so you went there and worked with Sock?
Yeah, so worked with Socks. I was there probably for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And then it was awesome. It was really good. The only reason why I actually would have left and I actually would have been there for a lot longer was I wanted to invest.
Yep.
And what I did was I found a commercial property that I purchased basically. And I was like, man, what am I going to do in it? And then I think it was Nick, actually. He mentioned, like, bro, you should probably open up, like, a barbershop or something like this. Yeah. And I was like, no. Like, I'm not ready and I'm not sure about that or whatever. And I thought about it a little bit more and I was like, well, there's no, like, like what I'm envisioning as what the barbershop is. I feel like I can achieve like that vision.
Yep.
So that was the thing. I just opened up, and I was a bit ballsy the way that I did it because I didn't really have money for the fit out. Really, I kind of just like winged it all. And then the month before, basically even opening up the first groom barbershop on Southside,
Yep.
we went away to Philippines as well. So it was all up in the air, but Sock was awesome. Like the shop, his business was cool. It's just like, I just knew that I wanted to achieve this. And even from the first early days of at Steffens, as I mentioned, opening up the hairdressing salon, it was always on my list.
Yep.
You know, I knew it was anything that I kind of put my mind to it. I know that I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of when. And it happened probably a little bit sooner than what I expected, because when I did open up the shop, I was 24.
Yep.
And at that time, I thought I was old. Like in terms of, like I was like, man, I'm missing the mark and I'm probably a little bit late. Like I should have opened up at this or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's not really like, you know, now that I'm older, I'm like, bro, like even
And
now.
realistically, like if you look back and if you had have opened it at like say 20, 21, 22, nah, like
Yeah. It would have been way crazier. But I'm thankful. I've got heaps of random stories, so it depends on which area you want to dive into. But even going to like to open up the first shop and hiring Tristan, it was cool, like how that works out. So I'm a bit of a weirdo where I have a lot of random visions of things. And I don't know.
What do you mean by visions? Like
I
see dead people?
No, not like that. I have heaps of ideas where I've literally like I've got it pictured in my head. Like I've seen this, and there's not like actually another ultimatum.
Like there's no other option.
No, it's weird. I've had it heaps of times. I actually haven't had it for a while, but one of the ones that I had was Tristan as one of my workers.
Yep.
Which was super weird. And I don't know if you've talked to Tristan about this. I should get the message up at some point, but I remember messaging Tristan and being like, bro, this is out of the blue, because Tristan wanted to be an electrician at that time.
Okay.
And he was working at I think it was Taro Cash or one of the clothes stores in Stocklands.
I think it was Taro Cash.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure. But either way, I remember messaging him, bro, I don't know, this is out of the blue, blah, blah, blah. I want you to be my first apprentice. And then he turned me down. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do. Like, this is what I envisioned. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask anyone else. And
you'd had the visions before, and like it's always panned out, sort of thing.
And I was like, man, well, whatever. I'll figure it out eventually. And then I remember like going overseas, because I went to Philippines for like a month.
Yep.
I hadn't been to back to Philippines since what would have been. So I went to there when I was 24, but then I went there previously when I was 13 or 14.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
So we went there, 10 years later, and I remember being in Philippines, and I think it's then that Tristan messaged me and was like, bro, I've managed to hurt my leg. I can't actually wear my moon boot at work.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about barbering. Do you care if I wear a moon boot? And in my head, I was like, now that I've thought back about it, I probably shouldn't have allowed him wearing a moon boot, because insurance and liability and all that stuff.
Hair, slippery.
All that crap. But I was like, bro, I don't care.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
like, you're in my vision, bro. Like, let's make this happen. And even in the newspaper, we've got a newspaper article of Tristan literally wearing a moon boot.
Really?
This thing. And it was just, it's just weird. Like, things like that happen all the time. Like, I have like little weird visions of what I think is going to happen. And
then it does.
It does, yeah. But just like anything, the future's only predicted because of you make it. You make the future a lot of the time.
I definitely think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I always think about that. I'm always coming up with wacky ideas and all this random crap that does happen, and I've envisioned a lot of it. And even myself being in Yeppoon or opening up this Yeppoon store, like I've had that vision for ages.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's been on your vision board for,
it's going to happen, or when it was going to happen. And obviously now it's happening, and I'm going to knock out all these other things. It's nothing spectacular or great in my eyes, but it's just like what I perceive that my family and what I'm going to do. So it's cool that things like that, for that story in particular, is cool.
Yeah. Do you not see it as like, I don't know, great, fantastic, spectacular, because you just keep banging shit out?
Yeah.
Like ticking big things off the list, sort of thing.
I guess so. Like sometimes I have to humble myself a little bit without being arrogant in the situation as well. Is that if I feel like I know I'll have made it when my circle are happy and like I've done like what I can. I feel like when that happens, like that'll be like a cool,
okay,
like I don't know. I feel I
Like
would feel
I've made
yeah
it.
yeah
Like,
yeah more relaxing. Like I feel like that's more to make it,
okay.
but it depends. Like I guess it depends on what you think making it is or the
Exactly.
goals.
Yeah, because it's all so individual, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I feel like, money and business and all this other crap is just whatever, realistically. Like I'm here to help people and try and give jobs to people and do things for the community and stuff. But like I would feel better in those situations versus, like like other money or like other things. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I only can achieve that due to money. Like I know how to play the game,
Yep.
but it's never been like a
You'd rather like help people than buy a yacht or something.
yeah, of course, yeah. Like even like the car that I have that I drive around in my daily, like I'm just happy getting by point A to point B, and I'd be happy to help people on the journey of all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I think the goals that I've marked are good, but as you said, going on to the next one's a lot of my thought pattern.
Yep.
So that's tricky to humble myself on that thing, and then sometimes it is when is
enough?
yeah,
Like,
when is enough. I know when is enough now. Or like, I know what my goal is going to be, but I'm hoping that when I reach that, it's not the next one or whatever. How big is the TV that I want? You know what I mean? I don't want that, but that's what happens a lot of the time. You buy this TV. And then you're like, man, this is the TV. Next year's TV coming out. I want that TV. I don't want that.
People do it with iPhones, man.
Yeah, of course.
They've got like a perfectly good like iPhone 14. They're like, oh, the 15's out. I got to buy it. And I'm like, why? Does that one work? Yeah. Does that one do anything different? No.
Yeah.
Fucking why do you need it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah. Marking out goals is obviously good, and I have moments where I do get to feel humbled and appreciate what I've done due to the outcome that has happened in terms of like helping people or the situations that I've achieved through that kind of stuff. Like I probably feel better through that. But it's just working towards this last goal, which is setting up for my family.
Yeah, sweet. So Southside was the first shop. When did that open?
2016.
Okay. So what are we now? Shit, that's nearly 10 years.
10 years next year, June 23rd. Will be 10 years. So statistically, I think it's 10% of businesses will stay open till 10 years.
Yeah, wow. Is that it? Just 10%?
10%, yeah. But on the contrary to that is I feel like anyone that would hit past 5 or 6, I think they would only not last 10 years because they're going crazy. Now that I'm going to 10 years, I'm like, it's not a money situation. It's not any of this stuff. It's just like, they're like, I need to do something else or I like this. I want it, it's,
Or if, for certain people, if you do something for so long, like the one thing for so many years, it's like, fuck, I'm sick of doing the same thing all day, every day sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially when you're doing big hours and you're doing all this kind of stuff. But yeah, it feels accomplished. I'll feel accomplished hitting 10 years, but it's not on my goal list.
Okay.
That one. If anything, as arrogant as it sounds, I thought I would have had more stores by now.
Really?
Definitely.
Really?
I definitely thought I would have had at least 3 to 5.
Okay.
The only thing that I didn't have on my board was the amount of kids I was gonna have.
Okay.
And how young I am having kids.
Yep.
And not to make it sound bad, it didn't throw it out, but it definitely pushed it out different. But it also helped me change the dynamic of the way that my business or my brain works to that.
Okay.
Because I think if I didn't have kids and I kept on opening up more shops, I wouldn't have seen my family or my kids. Or
I'd have a lot less time for Jordan.
Yeah,
or whatever,
definitely.
You're bouncing between all these different
Definitely,
stores
and I reckon I would have put myself in even more debt for what,
and then probably end up being like those people at like 6 years just going like, pulling their hair out and going, fucking, you know what,
Definitely.
don't even worry about it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think 2 or 3 shops is definitely more on my thing.
Yep.
And then if anything, if I was to do more or have a different game plan, I'd probably partner up with barbers, my staff in particular, to be able to prop them up or give them opportunity with everything that I've built.
Yeah,
I probably prefer that just to help them out.
Yeah. So Southside was June 23rd, 2016.
Yep.
And it was just you and Tristan there.
Tristan and we hired Curtis. I think it would have been like 2.5 months later.
Okay.
and then we hired 2 other staff after that, maybe like 6 months later.
Okay. Yep.
But the only problem is that shop only had 3 chairs, and then I had, what was it, like 5 workers or something. Yeah, 5 workers.
Yep.
So
trying to balance that and
that wasn't the hard bit. I just knew that I outgrew it, and I outgrew it really quick.
Okay.
So that's why I ended up closing down that store and then opening up the north side one.
Yep.
Which was like, where we're at now, a lot bigger.
Yeah.
The last one was
bigger.
50 square meters, and then this one's like, 110 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But when I set it up here, it was only 5 chairs at the time.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, those chairs are bloody expensive to buy, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. But not only that, but that's what I thought I just needed at the time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I knew I was going to have more shops and more barbers, but, 5 chairs was awesome for me.
Yeah. And so, like, obviously, given how quickly you outgrew the Southside store, would have showed you how much it was in demand, what you were doing and what you were setting out to achieve.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So that would have been like a massive sigh of relief, I would assume. If you'd be like, oh, okay, like I've gone all in on this and I've just balls to the wall and it's working. It's worked.
Yeah. Like I always knew it was gonna work. I think at the end of the day, haircuts, the conversation, the banter, the whole vibe of cutting hair in general will always be around. You know what I mean? You just look around and barbering has always been throughout the years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the only time that we'll ever not be barbering, and I think I'll be dead or older, would be AI robots.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon. Definitely. I think they would. Only for the reason is there's salons now that have like a no talk chair.
Really?
Yeah, so you can like basically sit into the chair, and I think they obviously might ask you what haircut you want.
You would hope so.
and then you don't talk.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, and I get it. Like,
for certain people, that's what they need.
But then what I think is going to happen is that a lot of people will want that, where they'll either be glued to their phone on their laptop. They don't want that social connection.
Yep.
And they'll be happy with a robot as long as the job is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like tattoo artists at the moment. There's a thing that's going around where these robots are able to tattoo you.
Really?
Yeah, it's a thing. Like,
dude, I must be living under a rock or something.
You must be, man.
I've not even heard of. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so you can, obviously place it there, and then there'll be like a thing that will tattoo you. But I mean, if I would feel bad, because it's going against tattooists. But if a robot could give you the exact tattoo that you asked for, would you do it?
Well, man, I've tattooed myself, so
Yeah.
I'll let pretty much anything or anyone tattoo me. I don't really care.
Yeah, but then the only thing that you're missing is the social connection. So what's the difference between that and a haircut, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If these people are happy not to talk and they get the exact haircut they are after, then, what's the matter?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why else would you... Well, yeah. Why would you go anywhere else or do? Yeah,
exactly. And then there's definitely going to be a stage, and
I think that'll only be like a small portion.
I think so. I think there'll be pushback on it, but I mean, it still might be a thing
because half of the thing, like with coming to a barbershop to get your haircut, is for the social connection and interaction and whatnot.
So I think there'll still be segregation in terms of people that would want that social interaction, but it just depends on how you look at things. It's the checkout machine versus the checkout person.
Yeah.
But soon what's going to happen is it's only going to be a checkout machine, and we don't know any other thing.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's all we know. We don't know the social interaction in that. So I think that will happen. But before that happens, the only thing that would ever take my job out, this sounds really weird, is hair growth. But not that. I think whoever figures out how to grow hair will figure out how to slow down hair.
Okay.
So basically you'll be able to get your fade, put this crap all over your hair, and it will stay like that longer,
for like 3 months or something,
or for whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that will put out people's jobs.
Okay.
I think that will happen before AI robots take my job, and I'm hoping that I've sold out or made my money by then. But I definitely think that's on the cards.
Okay.
Yeah. It's weird because everyone's like, man, what's going to happen? Like, people are getting hair transplants, and then there's these hair growth. And I was like, man, I'm way more worried about someone slowing down hair growth.
Yeah, like, because you're like, please, like, if hair can grow faster, longer, quicker, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And
that keeps the doors open. That keeps my family fed.
Yeah. And they have, like, things on lawns that you can do to slow down lawns. Have you heard about this as well? No?
Apparently, I've not heard anything
don't worry,
at all,
man.
ever.
Don't worry about nothing.
Holy shit. Well, apparently I haven't been worried about anything at all.
Yeah, you can put things on lawns to slow them down as well. You know, for those big lawn advocates. I'm not a
Dude,
lawn advocate.
I need mine to grow.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got like,
Yeah, well,
I've
you
just
need the
got a
other
patch
one.
of dirt out the front.
Yeah. Well, if you sprinkle this stuff upside down, it goes quicker then.
Ah, is that how it works? If I do a handstand while I put it on.
That's how it works. But yeah, basically, if you put this stuff in the lawn, it'll slow down the growth of your lawn.
Yeah, okay.
And some dude that's probably going to be watching this will be like, man, if I can figure that out, or if I rub that crap on my hair, we slowing it down. We're going to get that fade.
Or he's going to start growing grass out his head.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I think that might happen. That would be the only thing that would disrupt the business of hair, I think.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen in your lifetime.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it all goes.
And so you said you closed down Southside store?
Yeah, so basically the way that it worked in order is I had the Southside store 2.5 years, closed that down to open up the Northside one because I had enough stuff at that stage that we could all get into the Northside store. And then basically I got offered to do something in Gladstone.
Yep.
So the way that it happened is that a gentleman came in. He's like, hey, man, we got the spot in Gladstone. Tristan was really keen on going to Gladstone as well. And I was like, you know what? I'll try this, see how it goes. And the way that, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about like the setup of things, but the way that shopping centers normally operate is that they give you like fit out money.
Yeah, okay.
And that I guess is in the amount of rent that you kind of pay in the lease contract and all this kind of stuff.
So it's kind of like a little small upfront loan so you can fit the shop out.
Yeah.
So that then the whole shopping center looks good or looks the part or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's just added on top of what you would have already paid in
which
rent.
is good. So I felt like I didn't have much to lose, and they tell you these like these deals and things that happen. And basically, I went to Gladstone, opened up a shop there. Or Tristan was like the owner or manager, or the manager of that store, and that was like the first time that I was probably doing 2 stores.
Yeah.
And if I had to redo it all over again, I definitely should have opened up something in Yeppoon first.
Yep.
But in saying that, the lessons that I learned off opening the Gladstone store, I think I would have still made opening up a Yeppoon store, which would then have like not gone as good for my future of that store. Because I feel like the Yeppoon one eventually will be the staple.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
In terms of for myself.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's going to be the best. It's just that I know that I'm eventually going to move over to
because
Yeppoon.
exactly. You're going to be down there.
Yeah. So I think the lessons that I learned opening the Gladstone store, but rushing through the story, I was there for 3 years because that's the contract.
Okay.
And it was good. I used to wake up at, would have been like 5 a.m, go to gym, drive an hour and a half to Gladstone, cut hair. What is it? It was like the Tuesday, Wednesday, like the 2-day. I used to stay up there and then just drive back. But at that stage, I was doing 6 days a week, every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was, I think I would have been maybe 5 years in business or around that time, something like that. But all I knew being a business owner was to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I could, even if I wasn't the best, if I could smash more hours and work harder than someone, I knew I was going to get up front.
Yeah.
So I used to just work nonstop. So at that stage, I was doing 6 days a week, and
long hours in those 6 days as well. Yeah.
And I felt like I didn't really burn out, but now that I've looked back, I probably did in some sort of way.
Yep.
But I always say when I open up a shop, I wanted to feel burnout.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wanted to push yourself that hard.
I wanted to feel the ceiling to know not to touch the friggin' ceiling.
Like to break through it.
I'll break through it, or to like be like, okay, this is what.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Now I get you mean. The ceiling of the burnout feeling.
The burnout, yeah. You don't know what's bad or until you've had worse.
Yeah.
There's always worse, but it's like at that time I had business owners tell me like, hey man, you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to do this. And I tell people this all the time, and I'm like, you need to learn your lesson, but you got to do it. So there was a lot of times, I think the longest I ever worked was a month straight for Christmas, probably my first or second year.
Yep.
No days off, just a month straight. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Proper Asian mode, sweatshop mode, where I just worked every day and
making sneakers out the back after you finish doing haircuts and shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to feel it. Like I wanted to see, and I'm so thankful that my wife Geordie, not that I need permission, but it's good that she stuck around or even was
allowed you to
do that,
to be away.
And, exactly. And she's always had my back and been my foundation to like all my madness and all my moves. But thinking back, I definitely poured so much of myself into work that I'm super thankful that she even just stuck by my
around.
side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And she's been there since I was her apprentice.
Yep.
You know, with
Yep.
like weird hair and and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so Gladstone was cool. I was there for 3 years, and the only reason I actually shut it down, and I probably would have stayed open a little bit longer, but I definitely did the right move where I was there for 3 years. The lease finished because it was a 3-year contract. And the way that leases operate, especially in shopping centers, is that they only allow normally 5-10 years. All that, you know what I mean? A lease, yeah,
Really?
yeah. Barry, when you're in a lease in a shopping center, a lot of the time they try to
Holy shit.
they want the long term, but everyone wants long term.
Of course.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
gonna have a residential or a commercial, just like a standalone, not a shopping center, a lot of the time they'll go for longer contracts. It just
Yeah.
works better, especially when you got a good person.
Yeah.
So basically the person that I had that was managing at the time was moving to Brisbane, and I was having Cora, my first kid, and the lease was finishing, and I was like, man, I want to shut this. I think it's definitely time. So
Just like everything lined up
yeah,
perfectly to be like, maybe I should pull out of this.
yeah, definitely. And I like Gladstone, and I learned a lot from opening up that shop. And at that time, I also had I had 3 shops running at that time. So I had the north side, the south side, and Gladstone all running simultaneously, working 6 days a week. It was good, and as I said, I probably look back and I probably did burn myself out because I put on weight and I probably wasn't going to gym and like kind of taking care of myself. Maybe not when I closed down the shop, but kind of prior.
Yeah.
I probably because I just all I knew was work. I didn't take care of myself. Because I'm Filipino or Asian, I thought I couldn't put on weight. I just wanted to see all these outcomes of what I thought was, what I wanted
Possible
to see.
or not
it was
possible,
possible.
yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously I touched all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I would say for me, if I ever did open up back in Gladstone, I'd partner up with someone.
Yep.
And
like preferably someone that's like lives
local,
down there.
of course. It would make more sense. And then I don't mind Gladstone. I actually really like what they've done to it.
I really like Gladstone.
It's cool, yeah. But I probably never would open up a place where I personally am living or want to live. So I don't mind Gladstone, but I don't ever see myself living there.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe Tannum. I love Tannum.
Yep.
Tannum's nice.
Yep.
I feel like Gladstone's probably a little bit more industrial
Yeah,
to
100%.
what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And that's not bad. I get it. I'm not saying anything bad about Gladstone. I actually really like it. But now that we've got these multi-locations, I would probably only open up in spots where I would genuinely want to live.
Yeah, okay.
If I had to choose any other places, like I'd love Agnes, I'd love Airlie.
Yep.
I'd probably ditch the industrial areas as much as possible.
Yeah.
But it makes sense as well. You know what I mean? Like, the money, the business, like I get all that kind of stuff. But for me, I wanted to make like a lifestyle.
Because it's not about that. It's about making a good life.
Yeah, definitely.
Being happy and
and all that kind of
family.
stuff. So so I would probably prefer to in those spots. So if there was ever anyone that reached out from like Ailey or Agnes, let me know because I'd love to team up to visit or chuck some parties there. Or something. So,
and maybe a shop or something.
Yeah, maybe a shop. Yeah, that too.
So you pulled the pin on Gladstone after 3 years.
Yep.
And then so you've just had the OG Southside shop and this Northside store.
Northside one, yeah.
And in that time, this Northside store has, like, the building stayed the same size, but you've done some renovations and moved some stuff around to add in how many more chairs?
4.
4 more chairs.
Yeah, 4 more chairs and then 1 more chair on Southside.
Yeah, wow.
So the thing that's pretty funny is that I think in Gladstone I think it was 4 chairs, and all I did was close down shop, which means less rent, to be able to have the same amount of chairs here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So it's also a bit of a no-brainer then, really.
Yeah. And,
so long as you've got the amount of clients coming through that, I guess, like, you can fill 9 chairs or whatever.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I also wanted to do that. I think now that I've progressed in business, like the square meter ratio to money making ratio has to make sense as well.
Yep.
So it definitely worked better for me because I wanted to be based in Rocky. And as soon as I had my first daughter, Cora, I cut down my days to 5 days.
Yep.
Like I would rarely work 6 or 7 days unless I had a holiday or I was sick, or like it's something happened. But I try my best now to do 5 days only, unless some emergency.
Yeah. And so you've got Cora, and you've got then Quinn.
Yep.
And Kendrick's.
Yep.
So Cora just turned
4.
4.
Yep.
Yeah. And Quinn's how old?
Quinn's 2.
Yeah. And Kendrick's is what, 6, 7?
6 months. Was on the 11th that just passed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. That's flown by so quick, man.
So fast, yeah. We actually forgot, Geordie and I. Yeah. Just because we've had so much stuff going on with like being sick, as you rescued me, and the purchase of the other store.
Yeah.
We completely forgot. It was yesterday. Actually, what's the date today?
I don't know.
Yeah. It was yesterday that basically we looked at the date, and then holy crap, we forgot about it. So yeah.
It happens, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously very, very busy between, the 2 shops, wife, 3 children. How many staff have you got?
I can't remember now. Yeah. A few. I gotta count them all up. We've just had some chops and changes, and obviously coming into the other store, we're gonna do some stuff. So yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to be a lot on your plate as well, trying to navigate. Well, I think it'd be a lot on most people's plate, but probably not yours.
I think it will be. Just juggling the kids as well, especially. I think that will be the tricky part. Really.
Yeah.
I think business has always been not too bad, but I think juggling family has probably made it like so much more trickier.
Okay.
Only because like I love work and I love my workers, I love my clients, but trying to balance like things is definitely a lot more trickier.
Yep.
I'm definitely more tunnel vision, where if I lock in, like I can do it. But now that I'm trying to multitask, which I've never been good at, it's always been tricky. Unless it's a part of the same agenda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now trying to balance, and I'm sure every person is going through this, it's way trickier. Way trickier. Yeah.
Do you think having children has like changed how you are as a business owner, or a boss, or
just understanding that your greatest commodity is time?
Yep.
Yeah. So just being aware of timing has probably been my biggest thing, where I used to be able to work nonstop.
Yeah. When you didn't have any other responsibilities other than a business.
Yeah. I could just do whatever.
Yeah. And so that's changed.
Definitely. Yeah. Just the idea of commodity of time has probably been my biggest realization. And then the passing of time is probably really important as well. Because even the thing that Cora's turned 4, and obviously we've been around there the whole time, is to think 4 years has passed. Which is close to like just short of half of the years I've been in business.
Yeah.
Like the perspective of time is, that's what I think about the most. I think that probably bugs me the most, thinking of childhood, like, being in Farnborough, then doing the full circle, potentially being back in Yeppoon, like how long it's been. And in my head, if I had to shout out an age, like I feel like I'm 23 or 24.
Okay.
To think that I'm turning 33 soon is weird.
Yeah.
And 4 years of having kids feels not 4 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff really probably I think about.
Do you feel like it's like simultaneously flown by but taken a long time, like as well?
No, I definitely feel like it's just flown by.
Just flown by.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it reminds me of being in cruise control. If you're doing the same thing day in, day out, the whole work thing, I think you don't have time to stop to realize.
Yep.
And it's not until you do actually stop and have a moment of reflection that you do realize anything that you've put your energy or time to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Otherwise, it's just sort of muscle memory, cruise control.
Yeah, just cruise control.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's why I try to reflect a lot, only because I'm going so fast. So that's the only thing that grounds me in the way that I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so you've got your anniversary when? Sorry.
Anniversary is this Monday.
Yeah, perfect.
18th of August for our wedding.
Yep.
And it's actually something that we need to get to soon. So
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd bring that up because you often do things like just obscure.
Yeah.
Like, so you ran off, got eloped.
Eloped, yeah.
Not got eloped, you eloped.
Yeah.
And kept it a complete secret from everyone.
Yeah.
And then had your engagement party, even though you had already been married.
Yeah, so, it's definitely a little bit backwards. And I guess this being like the end of what we're talking about, Geordie and I have been together for I think it's like 13 years now or something like this. And obviously, I proposed quite late. I probably proposed when we were 9 years together.
Yep.
Only for the reason was I was a little bit funny about the idea of being married or weddings or anything like that. It's kind of weird to me, the whole idea.
Okay.
But in saying that, just because it was weird to me or meant not much to me and it meant a lot to Geordie, I was like, nah, I should do the right thing and do it. The only reason why we probably rushed, I guess, like some of the eloping and all that kind of stuff was Geordie was pregnant with Kendricks at the time.
Yeah.
And it was either we get married like before Kendricks or like while she was pregnant or after.
Yeah.
And looking through the past and the history, like, man, when you have a baby, you get nothing done for like 1 or 2 years. So by the time Geordie and I were ready to get married, we'd definitely be like a lot. Like, I think we'd be 36. Not that that's a bad age or anything, but we just knew it was either now or...
Let's just do it.
Yeah. And it was cool. Like, I like the idea of it. Eloping was really good. We eloped in Yeppoon at the orchard.
At the orchard.
Went there and then obviously had a surprise wedding engagement party. The month after, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a really good night.
I thought it was cool, and I think I would recommend.
And so many people were surprised.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
was like a lot of people that were like I don't know, had their suspicions or whatnot that something was going to happen there, or that was going to be the wedding itself.
Yeah,
and that was really, really cool.
Nah, it was a good thing to do, and I definitely recommend it for people. But yeah, it was good, and I think even celebrating this weekend for our wedding anniversaries. It's cool to think that it's been 1 year already.
Yeah.
Especially after you emceeing and being a part of that moment as well. It's weird to think, as we were talking about time, like it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's
Where the
buggy.
hell has that year gone,
Exactly.
man? Yeah. I was like, so you got eloped and then had the engagement and then we did your Bucks party.
Yeah.
Just like...
Everything backwards. We make our own rules. We
That's
do
it,
whatever.
No, it's always good hanging out with you, spending time with you. I love you.
Thanks,
I
man. I love
appreciate you as a
Yeah.
friend, one of my best mates. So we'll probably wrap that up now because you got to get going. So
Definitely, yeah.
I hope everyone enjoyed getting to learn a bit more about the man himself.
Hey.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, and I think if we do, we'll probably have to do another one where like we do another reflective year. And I've actually got heaps more stories, but we've got no time. So just like everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But we should do one. I don't know if people would be keen on it, but we should even do. I don't know what we would name it because we don't even have a name for this podcast. But if you guys want
to, got suggestions, throw them at us.
Yeah. It's some ideas of like Jesse and I talking or some topics or anything. I think we could probably do something depending on what the people want.
Yeah, exactly. There's a million different ways that sort of, I guess we can take this or things that we can look at and
Yeah.
But also, like speaking of the time thing, it'll be really, really interesting to look back on this in like a year, 2 year, 3 years time and like look at how we are and how we may have changed and it'll be really, really cool.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll cruise off. But yeah, if you guys have ideas or things that you guys can chuck up in the comments or topics, please let us know.
Yeah. Sweet.
Sure.
All right. Let it bolt.
Thanks.